in the warm currents of the Mediterranean, something impossible is unfolding. A jellyfish no larger than a fingernail is dying. Its delicate bell collapses inward, its tentacles wither and dissolve, and its body sinks toward the seabed like a spent candle guttering out. For nearly every animal that has ever lived, this is the end of the story. But this creature has read a different script. As its cells surrender, they do not rot. They begin, impossibly, to grow younger. Watch closely. The dying jellyfish folds into a shapeless blob on the ocean floor. Then that blob does something no textbook of biology ever predicted. It sprouts roots. It flattens. It reorganizes itself into a tiny stalk, a polyp, the infant form this animal left behind when it was born. In the space of days, an adult has rewound itself into a child. The clock has not merely stopped. It has run backward. Scientists call it Turritopsis dohrnii. The world knows it by a bolder name, the immortal jellyfish. It is the only animal we have ever found that can reverse its own aging at will, escaping death not once, but potentially again and again, without limit. This is the story of a creature that broke the oldest rule in nature, the rule that everything that lives must one day die. And of the humans racing to understand how it does it. To meet the immortal jellyfish, you would have to look very hard, and probably fail. Full grown, it measures about 4.5 millimeters across, smaller than the nail on your little finger. Its bell is transparent as blown glass, ringed with up to 90 hair-thin tentacles. A bright red stomach glows at its center like a lit ember suspended in water. Millions drift through the world's oceans, and almost no one ever notices a single one. In its ordinary life, Turritopsis behaves like any other jellyfish. It begins as a larva, settles on the seabed, and grows into a branching colony of polyps. From these, tiny medusae bud off and swim away to hunt plankton and, eventually, to breed. It is a humble existence in the vast machinery of the sea. But hidden inside this unremarkable animal is a trick that would take scientists decades to believe, and one that may already be spreading silently around the globe. Jellyfish are among the most ancient animals alive, drifting through the seas for more than 500 million years, long before dinosaurs, before trees, before bones. They have no heart, no brain, no blood. They are little more than a pulse of muscle and nerve wrapped around a stomach. And yet from this simple design, evolution stumbled onto something it granted to almost nothing else, a way to sidestep the one appointment every other creature must eventually keep. The secret surfaced by accident. In the early 1980s, a young German student named Christian Sommer was collecting hydrozoans in the Italian waters off Rapallo. He scooped up specimens of Turritopsis, dropped them into dishes, and settled in to watch them spawn. It was routine, tedious work, the kind that fills the notebooks of marine biology. Then his jellyfish began to behave in a way that made no sense at all, and Sommer found himself staring at something that should have been impossible. The adult medusae in his dishes refused to die. Deprived, stressed, and aging, they did not simply expire as expected. Instead they shrank, dropped their tentacles, and settled to the bottom, transforming back into polyps, the juvenile stage they had supposedly outgrown forever. It was as if a butterfly had crawled back into its cocoon and re-emerged as a caterpillar. Sommer had no framework for what he saw. Years would pass before other scientists dared to confirm the astonishing truth. For a long time the findings sat quietly in the literature, too outlandish for most to accept. How could a complex adult simply become a child again? Slowly, though, the evidence hardened, and a nickname escaped the laboratories and into the world's imagination. Newspapers called it the Benjamin Button of the sea, after the character who aged in reverse. But the reality of how the trick works is far stranger than any fiction or writer could invent. In the 1990s, Italian researchers Ferdinando Boero, Stefano Perino, and their colleagues took up the mystery in earnest. They stabbed the jellyfish with needles, starved them, and bombarded them with stress, trying to kill them. Again and again the animals cheated. The team documented the reversal in careful detail and published it, giving the world its startling headline, "An Animal That Could Age Backward." But how, exactly, does a body unwind itself? The answer lies in a rare biological sleight of hand. The process is called transdifferentiation. Normally, a cell that has become muscle stays muscle, a nerve cell stays a nerve. But the immortal jellyfish can command its specialized cells to forget what they are and become something entirely new. Skin becomes nerve, muscle becomes egg-producing tissue, an adult body is disassembled and rebuilt from the same living bricks. Most animals can do this only in tiny, limited ways. Turritopsis does it wholesale, rebuilding itself from scratch. And so the question sharpens, is there any end to this at all? What makes Turritopsis so extraordinary is not that it can regenerate, for many animals can regrow a lost limb or tail. It is that the jellyfish can reset its entire life cycle, an old adult becoming a fresh juvenile, over and over. No other known animal can complete this full round trip on demand. It is a loophole in the biology of the entire animal kingdom, found so far in this one impossible drop of the sea. Remember that this creature drifts unseen through the oceans. It turns out it has been traveling, and not by its own power. Turritopsis larvae and polyps can settle inside the ballast tanks of cargo ships, riding along in the water pumped aboard in one port and released in another. Native to the Mediterranean, the immortal jellyfish has now been identified in waters off Japan, the Americas, and beyond. Geneticists studying the animal have described a silent worldwide invasion, an immortal stowaway colonizing the planet. It is a chilling thought, a creature that may never age, quietly seeding itself across every warm sea on Earth. If it cannot die of old age, and it keeps multiplying, what could ever stop it? The oceans, it seems, are not being conquered by something fierce or fast, but by something patient beyond all reckoning. Yet nature rarely allows any advantage without a price. The immortal jellyfish, for all its magic, is not the invincible monster it might first appear. Nor is the jellyfish welcomed wherever it lands. Jellyfish blooms can clog fishing nets, choke power plant intakes, and crowd out other sea life. An animal that refuses to die of age, arriving in fragile ecosystems with no natural checks, is exactly the kind of guest that unsettles biologists. Whether Turritopsis will ever bloom in such numbers, no one yet knows. For now it remains rare, scattered, and watchful, its true potential still locked inside those few hundred cells. In a small laboratory in Japan, one scientist has devoted his life to these animals. For years the marine biologist Shin Kubota kept a rare laboratory culture of immortal jellyfish alive, feeding them by hand, watching individuals rejuvenate over and over. He recorded a single strain reverting 10 times, each cycle a fresh escape from death. Kubota believes their secret could hold profound lessons for human medicine, and he has spent decades urging the world to pay attention to a speck of glass in the water. The dream is intoxicating. If we could understand how a jellyfish rewrites its own cells, might we one day slow human aging, regrow damaged tissue, or heal wounds that now scar us for life? But the immortal jellyfish is a creature of a few hundred cells and no brain. A human being is a 30 trillion-celled cathedral of memory and thought. Copying the trick may be far harder than it sounds, and even if we could, we might not want the price that comes with it. There is a humility in Kubota's decades of patient watching. He has written songs about his jellyfish, sung their praises on television, and still admits how little we truly understand. The animal guards its secret jealously, revealing it only to those willing to spend years staring into a dish of seawater. Immortality, if it lives anywhere on this planet, does not announce itself. It waits, transparent and silent, for someone curious enough to look. Here is the twist the headlines rarely tell you. The immortal jellyfish is not, in truth, immortal. Its cheat defeats only one enemy, old age. Everything else that kills in the sea still kills it. A hungry fish swallows it whole. A disease sweeps through a colony. A drifting medusa is crushed, stranded, or simply eaten before it ever gets the chance to begin again. In the wild, the vast majority die young, ordinary deaths, their miracle never once called upon. And there is a stranger truth still. When the jellyfish reverts to a polyp, is it really the same animal, or a new one wearing the old one's cells? The creature that swims away afterward carries no memory of the life before. In defeating death, it may also erase itself, becoming an endless relay of strangers passing the same body from hand to hand. Immortality, it turns out, might be indistinguishable from being reborn as someone else entirely. So the immortal jellyfish drifts on through the dark water, smaller than a fingernail, dying and undying, forgetting and beginning again. It has no ambition to live forever. It simply refuses, each time, to accept that any ending is final. And perhaps that is the most haunting lesson this speck of glass has to offer us, that the opposite of death was never living forever. It was starting over.